Hello everybody, I'm Skip Alzheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks lunchtime streaming show where I have a head cold. I think it might be something worse, but right now it's just a head cold, which is frustrating, and it slowed me down. It's mired me in, well, I won't go into details, but yeah, we watch old 16mm films here at the AV Geeks lunchtime streaming show. And this next film, I think, actually originated on 35, but there were probably 16 prints out and about. This is We Work Again. It's in honor of Black History Month.
Only a few years ago, we were a discouraged people because we were the first to lose our jobs when Old Man Depression came along and the last to get them back. We struggled vainly to regain our bearings while depression, fear, and failure stalked the nation. A tenth of the population of the United States, we formed as a race over a sixth of the unemployed. 1 out of every 4 of us was on relief. In vain, we sought for something to restore our confidence, our hope, our courage. Without jobs, we had no money. And without money, we could not purchase food for the hungry at home. Our only hope lay in charity. Hunger drove our people to the bread lines. Anxiously, we waited for some sign of better days. Then came the federal government's work program. One by one, it took us out of the bread line. It gave us a new chance to take a normal place in the life of our community. It made us self-supporting. It changed the haggard, hopeless faces of the bread line into faces filled with hope and happiness, for now we work again. Unskilled laborers, the forgotten men of past generations, now work steadily at decent wages. The nation over, they're building and repairing schools, public buildings, community centers, and airports to meet the changing needs of our modern world. In one project at the nation's capital, 1,200 men are employed in improving Bowling Field, grading, constructing runways, building hangars, and administration buildings. In addition to the hundreds of unskilled laborers who were removed from relief roles, many skilled workers are employed in this important improvement project. Hundreds of homes have been freed from the bondage of poverty as their breadwinners find security and hope in their new jobs. In New York City, a WPA housing demolition project is underway, which will greatly improve the living conditions of families of moderate means. In many other cities of the country, old tenements and fire traps are being torn down to make way for modern buildings containing comfortable sanitary apartments. At Colonial Park in Harlem, as in many other congested areas, WPA workers have constructed a huge swimming pool and are now completing a bathhouse which will accommodate 4,100 persons. In this construction project, skilled workers are employed, utilizing the knowledge of their trades gained in the days before depression. Swimming pools are particularly valuable to the community because they offer a haven of relaxation to young and old during the hot summer months. Crowded city streets, providing every safeguard to prevent such tragedies as were all too common to the old swimming hole. Typical of the park improvement projects underway all over the country is another feature of the improvement program at Colonial Park. A wading pool has been built by WPA workers in which the youngsters may splash to their heart's content. New additions to the playground area have been made possible by the grading and improvement of parts of the park which were formerly merely decorative. Even the youngest children find plenty of opportunities for play under watchful supervision. In many parts of the country, nursery schools have been established where almost 10,000 children of our needy families are provided with hot meals, supervised play activities, and excellent preschool training under competent instructors removed from relief roles. In these projects, employment has been provided for 600 teachers, nurses, dietitians, and cooks. At the other extreme of age, more than 300,000 adults have learned to read and write for the first time in their lives. Eagerly they study, realizing how very much a little knowledge can mean in our modern workaday life. Teachers drawn from relief roles instruct them in useful subjects such as arithmetic and foreign languages. In Harlem, where a large part of the population is from Puerto Rico and Central and South America, a knowledge of Spanish is valuable to workers, shopkeepers, and others. In this class, elementary instruction in the spoken language is given by native teachers. In cooperation with the National Youth Administration, 26,500 young men and women are employed as instructors, laboratory assistants, and clerical helpers. Thus, they are enabled to continue their education. Clerical white-collar workers find employment at filing and checking important records, at typing, and at such unusual occupations as abstracting and filing time-worn land records, so that they may be available for the use of future generations. As part of the program of rehabilitation and the conservation of human resources, a number of household training schools have been established by WPA. In these schools, girls from relief families are prepared for domestic work which will make them self-supporting. Others take the course in order to learn the arts of homemaking for use in their own homes. In modern kitchens under competent instructors, the girls are taught to cook and to prepare salads and other delicacies which add much to everyday meals. Here's where you may be able to learn something. This is the way the girls are taught to make beds, an art which few master. These household training courses have already sent hundreds of girls out into the world, well equipped to secure domestic positions and able to command skilled workers' wages. Health education is an important part of the WPA program. At a number of health centers in large cities, qualified instructors teach groups of women first aid methods and the proper care of children. The care of the sick is also taught by trained instructors at health centers throughout the country. These projects which you have seen are part of a broad national educational program through which WPA has helped millions of children and adults. In a number of communities, sewing rooms have been established in which are employed women who are the breadwinners for their families. Here, garments are made for distribution to needy families. Musicians and singers, too, found employment in orchestral and vocal groups. These art singers, organized and directed by William Lawrence, have successfully presented a great many programs of classical music.
In spite of meadow fields are gay, of birds sweet, from nature would all things should with joy begin the spring. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, with joy begin the spring. Allah, 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 with joy begin the spring. Then, lady, here do you appear in new delight. I will their save of birth and day, for cheerfully they'll say, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, more cheerfully we'll sing. Allah, 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 more cheerfully we'll sing.
One of our greatest contributions to the world of music is the spiritual, recognized the world over as a fine example of the folk music of America. This choir, directed by Juanita Hall, presents our traditional music in all its beauty.
Eagles on the wheel, way up in the middle of the air. Eagles on the wheel, way in the middle of the air. And the run my face, and makes me run my face. On the wheel, and on the wheel, way in the middle of the air. Eagles on the wheel, way up in the middle of the air. Eagles on the wheel, way in the middle of the air. And the run my face, and makes me run my face. On the wheel, and on the wheel, way in the middle of the air. Way in the middle of the air. Way up in the middle of the air, Eagles on the wheel, way in the middle of the air. And the wheel on my face, and makes me run my face. On the wheel, and on the wheel, way in the middle of the air.
Oh, you see, that's just a dress so fine.
Way in the middle of the air.
She ain't got religion on her mind.
Way in the middle of the air, oh, it's Eagles on the wheel, way up in the middle of the air, Eagles on the wheel, and way in the middle of the air. And the wheel on my face, and it makes me run my face. On the wheel, and on the wheel, way in the middle of the air.
Oh, you see, those little wheels, way up in the air. Oh, the wheel and the wheel, oh, the little wheel and the big wheel. Oh, wheel, way in the middle of the air. Oh, you see, those little wheels, way up in the air. Oh, the wheel and the way in the middle of the air. Oh, the little wheel and the big wheel. Oh, wheel, way in the middle of the air.
That was great. Supposedly there's a longer version of that, which has a performance, which I think features the narrator that was part of the Negro Colleges film that I showed earlier in the week. Interesting stuff. I mean, this is all these films I've been showing are about, documenting what was happening at the time and what the aspirations of things like the WPA, like the promise of the colleges for Black Americans. Of course, we know that it was wildly inconsistent and actually probably unfair. Especially the GI Bill. All right, so let's go back to watching some Cornet films. I know you've been aching to see an animated Cornet film from the 80s. Here is Map Skills, Physical Features, 2nd edition. And also, I apologize for not starting at 2. Like I said yesterday, I might not make it to 2. I might start going, and I appreciate the NyQuil recommendation. I recently had some NyQuil within the last year, and it was gross. It wasn't good. Like, they changed something about it. Like, they took that awesome narcotic and I guess whatever alcohol was in it, and they got rid of it. And so I was left with was something that was disgusting. Anyways, here's Map Skills, Physical Features. Enjoy.
There he is, outdoorsman Lance Boulder. He's going to start out where he is now, here on the coast of this island, and attempt to make his way across a lot of territory he's never seen before. He's going to do this in order to find and climb the highest mountain on the island. It's a difficult journey. Will he get hopelessly lost? Will he ever...
What? How can I get lost? I've got a map. I'm going to start here, go west, and end up here. Easy. See you later.
It looks like he's starting out now. We can only hope for the...
Hey, what happened? Where'd this water come from? It isn't on my map.
There seem to be a few bodies of water and landforms missing from your map. They're what we call physical features. Would you like to see a map that has more information on it?
I'd like to see one that shows where the bodies of water are.
All right, here it is. I'll color the bodies of water on it blue so it's easy to tell where they are. This is the ocean all around the island. You started out here on this coast, and this is where you are now.
Funny-looking lake.
This is a lake over here, a body of water completely surrounded by land. The part you're in, this, is a bay. That's a small part of the ocean that juts into the land. Up here is a gulf. That's a large part of the ocean that juts into the land.
How about getting me out of this water? Thank you. But now I'm back where I started. I guess to get to the other side of the bay, I'll have to go around it.
You can go around it. The landform you're on is called a peninsula. That's a long piece of land extending into a body of water. It's attached to the main landform here.
I see. So I can get off the peninsula by going this way, and then I can go between the gulf and the lake here. That's what I'm going to do. Bye. Now that I'm past the lake, there are no more bodies of water. The rest is easy.
Would you like your map to show any other physical features?
What for? Look at this area. Nice and flat. No problems.
That's called a plain. A plain is low, flat land that's usually very large. But plains don't go on forever, you know.
Now what? A rock wall? What's this?
That's part of a physical feature called a plateau. A plateau is a flat land like a plain, but higher and often with steep sides. This one happens to be thousands of feet high.
Well, I'm still trying to go that way. You mean I have to get up onto the plateau?
Here's a map of the island. You're right here. Different colors on this map stand for different regions, as you can see by looking at the legend. The green part is the plain you just crossed. The yellow area is the plateau in front of you, and the brown shows the location of the mountains you're trying to get to.
The yellow area is the plateau? But that's just this part here. Then I don't have to go over the plateau. It looks like I can go around it.
Correct.
Terrific. See you later. Now that I'm around the plateau, I can see that I've just about reached the mountains. But wait a minute. I want to climb the highest mountain here. How can I tell which mountain that is? This map shows that there are 3 mountains, and it shows where the mountains are, but not much else. How about a map that shows me which one's the highest?
Okay, let's make it a map that shows just the mountain area, like this.
Now the mountains aren't just brown. There are a lot of colors.
This is an elevation map. Look at the legend. On an elevation map, colors have a different meaning than they do on the map you've been looking at. To see what those colored areas mean, let's look at just one mountain. In fact, let's look at it directly from the side. This slope of the mountain goes all the way down to the sea, here. So this line represents sea level, 0 elevation. And the highest point on the mountain is at an elevation of 10,000 feet. That is 10,000 feet above sea level. Now, suppose we cut the mountain horizontally into 5 sections that are each the same thickness. That would give us 5 layers, like the layers of a cake. The cuts are these lines. Remember that each cut is really perfectly horizontal. That means that every point on each line is at the same elevation above sea level.
We really cut up the mountain?
Well, not really. Just imagine it. You'll see why. The whole mountain is 10,000 feet high, and we've chosen to make 5 layers of equal thickness out of it, so each layer is 2,000 feet high. We color the layers like this. Now, this color represents the part of the mountain that goes from sea level to 2,000 feet. This color stands for the section of mountain that's between 2,000 and 4,000 feet. And so on, up to the last section, 8,000 to 10,000 feet. Now, to show which color stands for what, we make a legend like this. You can see that tan, for instance, stands for the part of the mountain that's between 4,000 and 6,000 feet above sea level.
Yes, but what good is all this?
Well, suppose we turn the mountain so we're looking at it from directly above. That's the way you would see it on an elevation map.
Oh, I see. The colored areas show the elevations of the different parts.
Correct. The brown area, for instance, still stands for the part of the mountain that's between 6,000 and 8,000 feet above sea level, as you can see from the legend. Each colored area still represents a section of the mountain between cuts.
I see.
Of course, elevation maps can be made to show plains and plateaus, too. Let's go back to the elevation map of just the mountains. Can you tell which mountain is the highest?
Let's see. Here's one mountain, here's another, and here's another. But this is the only one with a white area. That's 8,000 to 10,000 feet high. So this one has to be the highest. And that's the one I'm next to now.
Exactly right.
Great. Finally, I know which mountain to climb. Now I can get started climbing it. But it looks awfully steep. Can you show me how to use the map to find the easiest way up?
Well, let's look closely at just the mountain you want to climb. Let's take away the colors and just look at these lines we made when we cut through the mountain. They're called contour lines. We can write in the elevation for each contour line because, as you know, every point on each of these lines is at the same elevation. For instance, this tells you that every point on this line is at 2,000 feet above sea level. Every point on this line is at 4,000 feet, and so on. Now let's look at this mountain from the top. Maps like this that show elevations without using colors are called contour maps.
But can I use this map to find the easiest route up the mountain?
Yes. Notice that here the contour lines are close together, and here they're further apart.
What does that mean?
Well, think about what you're seeing. When you look at this map, it's as if you're high above the mountain looking down at it. From up there, in some places the lines would look close together, and in other places they would look further apart.
I understand. Here, the lines look close together. That's where the side of the mountain is very steep. And here, on this side that isn't so steep, the lines look farther apart. So the parts of the mountain where the contour lines are farthest apart would probably be the easiest to climb.
Right. Now, do you think you can use this map to find an easy path to the top? You're here, and this is the highest point where you want to end up.
Sure. First, I'd want to get over here. I'd try to follow this line so I don't have to change elevation very much. And then I'd take this easy slope up to the top.
Very good.
Terrific. I made it. I got where I was going. Thanks for helping me understand physical features. Now, see that island over that way? Would you mind putting me there? Thank you. There's another mountain on the other side of this island, and I'm going to climb that one, too. I've got my map right here. See?
But your map doesn't show any
Bye.
physical features. Oh, well.
Yeah, those late '80s cornet, early '90s cornet, not really doing it for me. You know, I like some animation, but that somebody mentioned that they were looking forward to the faster pace of Wonder Cat, because yeah, it does seem like it just kind of plods along. And I think almost all of them were done by the Christensen animation people, so they set that tone. Who are the people of America? We are the great melting pot. That's what I was brought up on. That's what I believe. The cultures that have moved to this country have brought amazing things, food, art, music, mostly food. Like, there's some really good food, thanks to immigrants. So anyways, here's a cornet film that addresses that.
We are the people of America. In the cities and towns, on the farms of America. We work together and relax together. We are many races and religions and nationalities. We're the men and women of America. We are also the children of America. The young people, in the cities, in the suburbs, in the country. The young people of America. The young people of America. The young. Old and young and in between. That's us. Her ancestors came to America 300 years ago. His came 100 years ago. He came himself. Americans, the people of America. Police officer, elected official, balloon seller, doctor, rancher, Americans. American cook, the people of America. Years of work coming to an end. Years of work just beginning. Ancestors from Europe, from Asia, from Africa, from the Americas. We are the people of America, a mixture of the people of the world. America was first discovered by people from Asia, the Indians. And the land was theirs for thousands of years. And then explorers from Europe discovered the land again. The Vikings from the Scandinavian lands, Columbus of Italy, De Soto of Spain, Marquette and Joliet, France, Cabot of England, and other brave exploring men who sailed their ships through unknown waters and found the land of America. From England, men and women came to Jamestown in the south and Plymouth in the north. And the settlement of the East Coast began. They cleared the land and built their houses, and it was home. But in 100 years, the colonists began thinking of themselves not as Englishmen, but as Americans. A new people with new feelings and new ideas. They believed they were entitled to certain rights that their British rulers were denying them. So they began meeting to talk of winning their rights peacefully or fighting for them, if they had to. And when they did fight, people of the world worked and fought with them. Von Steuben, German. Pulaski, Pole. Lafayette, Frenchman. Haym Salomon, American immigrant. Crispus Attucks, American. A battle won, a nation won. To join the other nations of the world who had given us the explorers, the settlers, the patriots, the founders of our nation. People from England settled mainly on the east coast of America. And so did the people from Holland. In the south, Africans had been brought here as slaves, and more were coming. People from France had settled in the south and middle part of the continent. People from Spain were living in the southwest. More people came in the early 1800s to carve new lives out of the wilderness of America. Now from North and Central Europe, from Ireland, Germany, and the Scandinavian countries. They came mainly to the Midwest, mainly to farm. They plowed and planted and harvested and drew food from the soil. When people were needed to help build a railroad across the continent, many came from China and settled mainly in the West. And now railroads carried food and people all over the land. Industry grew. Commerce expanded. Cities were becoming giants. More people were needed to work in the cities and build them. There was room for many people. So many more people came to America from Europe and Asia, from Eastern and Southern and Central Europe, in the greatest wave of migration the world has ever known. Millions of people by the early 1900s, from Poland, Russia, Japan, the Balkans, Italy, coming to America to begin new lives, coming for economic reasons and religious reasons and political reasons, but mainly coming for freedom. For freedom. For freedom. They came from many countries, and they worked. They worked with Americans, and they became Americans. The people of the world in America. They helped to build the America of the 20th century. North of us and south of us, more people have come. The people of America, the people of the world. We Americans are something new, and new generations of us are on the way, playing together, growing together, learning together. We learn to accept our differences, thinking more about how we are alike than how we are different. We grow in understanding. We share our many races and religions and nationalities and come out the people of America. And as we get older, We work together as Americans and relax together. And we share the things the people of the world have come here to find. The things we cherish. Our form of government. Our justice. Our elective system. The abundance of food from the fertile soil. Freedom to worship as we choose. Freedom to believe as we choose. And freedom of speech. And when we feel any of these rights is being denied, we have the freedom to speak out. We've done it in the past. We do it now. Speak out. Protest against injustice. As Americans, we have farmed the land and raised the food to feed the people. We've developed the industries to provide us with our other needs. And we have built the cities that carry on the business for the people. America is a big country, and millions of us live here, with the freedom to go where we want and do what we want and get where we want. Wherever we live, whatever we do, we have shared what we know and worked together. America is the better for it, and we are too. For we are the people of America.
Mel Waskin did a lot of the latter cornet films. Oh man, I just realized I cut my arm. Yeah, weird. What is going on? All right. I'm obviously out of it, and I apologize for starting the show at 1 o'clock versus 2 o'clock when I said yesterday, but I just feel like as the amount of mucus in my body goes. So I'm going to do the rest of this show, and then I'm going home. I'm going to go to bed because feel like crap. All right. We watched some others in this series that are looking at other cultures and young, either kids or young adults in other cultures. Here's one about Gilberto in Guatemala. Enjoy.
Ancient Mayan Indians, lords of the jungle. Carved in stone, forever, but gone. 2,000 years. Over 2,000 years ago, they built huge cities that towered over the tropical jungle. Here, in the city of Tikal, they invented their own numbers and understood the movement of the stars. Here too, they developed their own unique style of weaving. Then, Mysteriously, these gigantic Mayan cities disappeared. And when the first European explorers came just 400 years ago, the jungles had grown over the ancient streets and plazas. The Mayans were gone. They are my ancestors, and ever since I was small, I have dreamed of visiting them, of visiting the ruins of Tikal. My name is Gilberto Leopoldo. I am 14 years old, and like our Mayan ancestors of long ago, I am learning to be a weaver. I live in Guatemala, a small country in Central America. My village is in the Western Highlands. It is called Salcajal, and it is well known for its special kind of ghost pattern weaving. My father, Don Jose, is a master weaver, and he is teaching me on our big loom at home. My father says it is very important to set up the fabric we are making on the loom with just the right amount of tension. Our village lies in a mountain valley. There are about 800 people here, and our family lives in a small white house overlooking the town. In Spanish, we call our district La Joya, which means the jewel, because it is so beautiful. I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers, and my whole family knows I dream of visiting Tikal. My mother says if I want to go that badly, I must ask God's help. Don Jose is very fast and can weave 4 meters in one day. He keeps the entire sequence of colors in his memory, and he says that a good weaver must work to a rhythm in his mind, just like a musician. He says that to become a master weaver, I must concentrate on my work and not be dreaming of Tikal all the time. I first learned in school that it was the Spanish who introduced the loom to Guatemala. But even today, many weavers still use the methods that the Mayans used long before the birth of Christ. We call this backstrap weaving. It's actually a tiny loom attached to a post with a strap around the weaver's back for tension. The threads are separated by twisting a flat stick instead of the foot pedals we use, and the cross threads are carefully placed in position. Many people make their own clothes out of the colorful patterns they weave. My father started me on the loom when I was 10. He always says a master must have an artist's eye for color and design and firm concentration when weaving. Weaving is actually the interlocking of threads to make cloth. On the loom, long threads stretch away from the weaver. We can separate these by using foot pedals and slide across a shuttle which contains the cross thread. Beating down firmly after each pass of the shuttle makes the fabric tight and strong. And each time we do this, we add the thickness of one thread to the length of the cloth.
Reventar, echar los 10 tramados de celeste, uno de lila, entonces para igual el adorno de la guardia. A ver, sigue echando.
In this pattern, the black and white threads form the ghost-like background design unique to our area. We call it jaspe because the lines resemble the patterns on the precious stone jasper. It is not difficult to create this effect, but it takes very careful designing. First, we wind about 30 white cotton threads into a long rope-like bundle. Every few inches, we very tightly wrap other threads, called ties, around this bundle. Later, when it is dyed black, the color cannot penetrate the ties, and when they are removed, we will have a black and white pattern on the threads. Every village has one family that specializes in dyeing, and all the weavers in Salcaja bring their threads here. My father says tomorrow the threads will be dry and we can set up the jaspe pattern our area is famous for. This morning, my mother tried to convince Don Jose to take me to Tikal, but he said we could not afford it. I think he is right. Now, we stretch out the threads full length. Beside the river in Salcaja is a perfect spot. With the ties removed, Don Jose is ready to finish designing the background pattern. The threads are separated with a wooden comb, and my father arranges the black and white sections into a design he likes. This will form the foundation for the haspin. When the pattern is just right, he ties the bundle to hold it in place until it's ready to go on the loom.
Aunque quede un poco grande este primero. Sí.
It's very frustrating. I have to remember the order of colors, and whenever I try to set up a rhythm, something seems to go wrong. Soon, I'll take a rest. It's almost noon, and my father said he had a special announcement to make at lunchtime. My mother has succeeded. Don Jose says if I weave well and we can sell our cloth at the weekend market, he will use the money to take me to Tikal. Blessed Mary, I have never even gone beyond the mountains around my village. Now I really must work well. Oh, lords of the jungle, Mayan ancestors, and Tikal. Don Jose says the final test of a weaver is in the market, and I pray for a good market day.
Gilberto. Gilberto, ya es tarde, ya ajustaste la tarea.
Sometimes I can feel a smooth rhythm, but it's still hard to concentrate, and I have to finish today for my father to check my work.
Gilberto, ¿cuántos varas has tejido?
Unas 2, hijo.
Vamos a ver cómo está el trabajo. Este aquí ve quedó algo mal casado.
Don Jose says there are a few mistakes, but they are small.
Bien.
And the weaving is very tight and good. He says we have a chance for a good price and my dream coming true. In the market, we can tell what village people come from by the weaving they wear and sell. This merchant is offering a bad price. He says he has a piece from Salcaja he couldn't sell last week. Don Jose says we must try other merchants. The price we must get for the bus trip is about 21 quetzals. We are asking 25.
No.
This merchant is offering 16. Don Jose says 23.
También usamos la lana mejor. Gracias. ¿Los 22? ¿Qué le parece esta?
Father asks 22. He says 20 tops. Don Jose says it's enough. We can go. Tomorrow we leave for Tikal, and it will take 2 days to get there. We will be stopping here for the night. Tomorrow we enter the jungle, and by evening we will be at the ruins of Tikal. fantastic, more fantastic than I ever dreamed. The Mayans, people of the sun, all gone and yet still here.
Hi, everybody. Thanks. Again, apologies for starting earlier than I said I was going to start yesterday, which was the normal time. Yeah, I have this head cold, and it is just like... bleh. But I hope everybody has a great weekend. I appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back on Monday. I'll probably have 2 gross days, and then we'll be back on Monday. I'll show you some more stuff. It'll be great. Hope everybody has a great weekend. I guess there's a football game this weekend. I don't know. I won't be watching it, but I hope if you are invested in that, that your team wins. If you like what you saw today, hit thumbs up. Hit subscribe. You can donate via the Super Thanks button in YouTube. But you can also just share what we're doing. And I appreciate your comments and your well wishes, as always. And we'll see you soon. All right. Take care. We love you.